You're listening to the Shaun of the South podcast, brought to you by Food City, dedicated to providing you, their valued customer, with top quality products at the best value every day. From certified Angus beef to locally grown produce and in-store made baked goods, nobody does food like Food City. Find a store conveniently located near you at foodcity.com. All right, well, I am at Ruffin Theatre in Covington, Tennessee. Population -5. I don't know, it's a very, very small town. And right now, I'm in a dressing room that it's upstairs of the stage, and it is where Elvis Presley once changed his clothes and got ready for his stage. He was a no-name when he came here to perform, a lot like me. And he had his band here, I guess, at the time, and he wasn't very much of a big deal. I don't know how full the crowd was, but this dressing room is about the size of a water heater closet, and it is tiny. So I'm going to read you a column I wrote about Elvis. I guess it was 2024, so like last year. So I'm going to read it to you now. It was late, and I had just finished performing my one-man spasm in Tupelo, Mississippi. We were tired. My wife and I had a long drive ahead. But there was a stop that I had to make. The GPS was confused, and Siri led us on a raccoon chase. We were going in circles. At one point, we realized that we had passed the same Dollar Tree 4 times. But eventually, we pulled into 306 Elvis Presley Drive. The narrow house, the place of Elvis Aaron Presley's birth, was about as big as a minute, about the same size as the junk house my daddy grew up in. It was a shotgun house, white clapboards, gray porch swing, screen door. At the time, I had my guitar in the van, so I sat on the porch, and I sat on the swing, and I tuned it. The balmy Mississippi air willed to tune an instrument in only seconds. I sang Peace in the Valley, the same tune we sang at my old man's funeral. And I still remember watching my daddy's ironworker friends cover their weathered faces and sniff their noses. See, my father was an Elvis fanatic. There were only 3 performers he nearly idolized: Hank Sr., Ray Charles, and Elvis Presley. And one of those 3 was always playing in his garage workshop over a tweed speaker on a Philco radio. If you were a kid in the 50s, Daddy once said, you loved Elvis. He was in your drinking water. And love Elvis, he did. He could sing all the hits, every lyric, every inflection. I even have vague memories of driving in Daddy's F-100 with my bare feet on his dashboard and Elvis playing. Only I could hardly hear Elvis over Daddy's singing. I don't have many memories of making Daddy proud, save for one. It was at a 4th of July picnic, and I was 9 years old. There was a plywood stage, and there was a gospel quartet, and there was a band. The event planners had asked me to sing an Elvis song for the picnic. Daddy had worked with me out in the garage for weeks preparing to sing. I was going to sing Peace in the Valley. We worked on that song night and day in the garage while Daddy played guitar and sipped a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I sang in the Labrador tones of a true hack musician. The crickets would be howling, and Daddy'd be clad in his grease-smeared, soot-stained denim uniform of a stick welder. And when we'd finish, he'd smile and say, well, if that don't light your fire, your wood's wet. I sang at that picnic with all my heart, and the quartet sang back up, and the people asked for an encore. I didn't know any other song, so I sang the same one again and again. And when I finished, I walked off the platform, and my old man was standing backstage. He had his thumbs hitched in his pockets, and there were pink rims around his eyes. He said, you done good, and that was all he said. I could smell the sweat and soot in his clothes, and I didn't do a great job. I know that now, but I believed then, just like I believe now, that there will indeed be peace in the valley for me someday, just like there is for Daddy. Well, thanks for listening to Shaun of the South. I've been your host today, Sean Dietrich, and it has been a true privilege to
find out anything more about what I do, you can visit SeanDietrich.com, or for those who are not particularly good spellers, you can visit SeanOfTheSouth.com, and there you can find out all sorts of information that you didn't know you didn't need to know about me. And while you're there, I hope you take the time to drop me a line. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me what's going on in your life. I'd like to hear it. And in case anyone hadn't told you today already, I love you. Now go say that to somebody else. Have a great day.